out today. Epstein information. I'm pretty fucking disgusted with it. Pretty disgusted with it right now. Can't even front. We're going to look into it a bit. I'll give people a minute to get in here. And I'll stop playing the video in a moment. Please like, share, subscribe. If you are new to the channel, check out some of our videos. Trying to lose weight. I'm going to be doing some weight loss videos and some stuff like that. Maybe be going to the beach in a few days. Might make some videos about that. But this is fucking, I'm besides myself with this today. This is bad. And it's not the reason, it's not the number one reason I voted for Trump. But it certainly was something that I thought was important to figure out if kids and young people and women and children were being hurt. And I think they were. I think there was lots of evidence. I think this is a big cover-up. And apparently, the president is not the most powerful man in the world. Apparently.
From asking questions. In fact, it's going to make people ask more questions. President Trump said, why would you like to talk about Jeffrey Epstein? But the reality is Donald Trump started his presidential run in 2016 by talking about Jeffrey Epstein, and very smartly so. A genius move by Donald Trump here on stage in 2015. When asked about Bill Clinton, Donald Trump said this.
Bill Clinton. Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein. A lot of problems.
Don't look like it no more. Don't look like he's got too many problems coming up, Donnie. Because the FBI and the CIA and whoever else dropped the fucking ball.
And you can tell that Sean Hannity didn't even know what
this is a major L
about, right? Because nobody really knew who Jeffrey Epstein was. In fact, it was Donald Trump who, in many regards, popularized Jeffrey Epstein because he talked about this during the 2016 cycle. And this is after Jeffrey Epstein had charges for being a sex trafficker. That happened in 2008. But before he was charged federally, that happened in 2018. And so it was Donald Trump who really brought Epstein into the public arena by bringing him up multiple times during the 2016 campaign.
You raised the question of Jeffrey Epstein in your remarks about in the Q&A.
Well, I think he's got a problem. I mean,
what do you think the problem will be?
I don't know, but that island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew. He'll tell you about it. The island was an absolute cesspool. So
it's amazing to watch stuff like this. Trump was telling us the entire time who Jeffrey Epstein was and who his clients were, in fact. You know,
so he's telling us the entire time, yet today they come out and they say, no client list, nothing was done, wrong. Ghislaine Maxwell sits in prison for the next 20 years because nothing wrong was happening. This is a fucking load of shit. I am not a happy camper about this today. And I'm glad no one in my family was involved in any of this shit, thank God. I feel horrible for the victims. And once again, we see people with money and power get away with this shit. And we're going to look into it over the next hour or two. Fucking disgusting.
Andrew and Jeffrey Epstein, like nobody had even heard of this stuff before.
Disgusting.
Bill Clinton and the island, nobody's heard of it. Trump popularized this stuff, and good on him, as we have covered time and time again on this program. There is zero evidence connecting Donald Trump to any of the more lurid.
Is there? I voted for Trump. But is there really not any fucking evidence about him being out there? Makes me wonder. Makes me fucking wonder. There was a lot of powerful people out there. That's why this shit ain't coming out. There was a lot of powerful people out there on both sides from all different countries. And that's why this shit ain't coming out. Just like I fucking kind of figured. And there's so much shit you guys got to watch. A lot of people think Epstein was a CIA operative or FBI operative. He was doing it to set people up. So Americans and people from around the world, regular citizens, are just collateral damage for the powers that be, I guess. Pathetic.
Evil and despicable things that Epstein did. In fact, it's the exact opposite. Who would know? Well, the prosecutor of Jeffrey Epstein, who was the only person on earth who was able to get a successful prosecution against Epstein, said that only President Trump helped him out in this. Trump is the only person who picked up the phone and said, let's have a talk. I'll give you anything you want, all the information. And the information led, in part, to Jeffrey Epstein's only prosecution in the state of Florida for sex trafficking and prostitution.
Which he got slapped on the
Trump
wrist
then
for.
kicked Epstein out of his club, banned him, and was never seen with Epstein again after having a cursory relationship with Epstein through the late 1990s and early aughts, as Epstein was, of course, working as an intelligence agent, clearly running a blackmail operation. So Donald Trump was one of a massive Rolodex of very famous and powerful people Epstein was trying to worm his way in with. Okay? The point is that the Streisand...
I don't like this shit. This is one thing I don't like about fucking certain people on the internet and shit. I voted for Trump. I support Trump. This is a major loss. This is a big L. This is a fuck up. This is someone with power told Trump not to fucking do it, or someone threw out a tape, or he's involved in it. But something's not fucking right with this one. Not fucking right with this one. And I understand they were talking about those people that were unalived in Texas, and it's a horrible thing. And a bunch of people on the left have been saying horrible shit about those people that lost their life in Texas. But it doesn't mean you just duck over the entire Epstein case that you've been talking about since you ran for election in 2016. This is a major L, and I'm not sucking Trump's ass on it. Almost all these fucking people that support Trump are all kissing his fucking ass. And I'm not kissing his ass right now. They fucked this one up. They fucked this one up royally. Fucking, and they're all just back. Like, I'm going to show you so many videos that expose all this shit today. Please like, share, subscribe.
That applies here. I'm going to play you this clip that everybody is talking about. It's wild. This is Donald Trump responding to a very logical question about the DOJ's non-release of any information and closure permanently of the Epstein question, which is insane.
They fucked this one up royally. Royally.
Here we go.
Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape on the night of the
Yeah, sure. If I
Pam, could I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Come on.
This has been talked about for years.
This is strange.
We have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want...
Trump, you started talking about him around election time. Let's keep it real. If I'm going to get on the left and I'm going to get on Democrats, I'm going to get on the right too. I'm not going to be one of those people that just plays one side. And it's not the only reason I voted for Trump. Don't get me wrong. But this is fucking something. This is a massive cover up or a massive fuck up, or someone with major power told them none of this shit comes out. Or it makes the government look bad, so none of this shit comes out. Or maybe Trump's on it too. Maybe he's on it too. Maybe he's on it too. Or maybe he was fucking blackmailed. Who knows? But I find it awfully odd that he don't fucking want to even discuss it.
Want to waste the time, and if you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
She also said they had thousands of videos, if I'm not mistaken, tens of thousands of videos, which I'm going to show you that video in a little while. Something's going on here, and it ain't fucking right.
Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but the evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Bureau of Prisons was every night, they redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Bullshit.
The Streisand effect.
Bullshit.
When Barbara Streisand says, there's a photo of Barbara Streisand's house that's on the internet, and she says, don't post the photo, don't look at the photo, and she sues everyone who posted it, that's going to get everybody to want to see it even more. You know, responses like this, they don't close the question on Epstein. In fact, it makes more people curious about what's really going on here. I can't believe press is talking about Epstein. Do you want more information on the Epstein files now? Yes. The answer is yes. You should absolutely care about an international child sex trafficking blackmail operation consisting of the most powerful people in the world. Anybody who's telling you otherwise is coping or gaslighting.
Real deal. Straight
We'll
up.
continue to ask about Epstein. And it's having the opposite effect, right? This is absurd. Pam Bondi was talking about Epstein. Cash was talking about Epstein. Bongino was talking about Epstein. Elon Musk was talking about Epstein. Trump has been talking about Epstein. He started his presidential campaign in 2016 by linking the Clintons to Epstein rightly. That's a line of absolute
Bullshit.
criticism for Bill Clinton. This is not the time to say, like, it's not the issue to talk about. And then more importantly, this missing minute of footage. So as we detailed yesterday, this is the footage that they gave. It's not actually Epstein's cell. It's not even the entrance to Epstein's tier block in the prison. So it's totally insulting, but also there's a missing minute, as you can see.
They ain't gonna show us shit.
Bondi admitted there's a missing minute.
They think we're fucking
That's
stupid.
just how it works. Doesn't seem very secure. Remember, the camera that would have been on Epstein's cell was malfunctioning and the guards were asleep. Got it? Yeah. We found the missing minute, by the way. Our investigators were able to find this missing minute. That's AI. And
That's
anyway,
AI. That's not real.
Jokes aside, doesn't seem to be a great answer there. There was a minute. There was a minute off the counter every night. The video is reset. Video surveillance system was old. Every night had minutes missing. Video was not conclusive for suicide. Evidence prior to it was conclusive. Can you
Makes no
release
sense.
evidence
No
then?
shit.
Is it really so shocking that we would care about a child exploitation blackmail ring run by our greatest ally and political cultural leaders? It's amazing how bad they're fumbling this. The way that Trump and Bondi handled the Epstein question in the cabinet meeting was great. My entire timeline is saying, as we have said, these are unforced errors, right?
Wicked.
Now we finally have official statements. I don't think the American people are ever going to let this go. We voted for transparency. I'm still willing to celebrate our wins. But, like, why take the L? There's a lot of W's. Why take the L here? This is unsettling at best.
My name is Tom Holman. I'm the former ICE director and President Donald Trump. And I'm here to ask America to wake up. You can protect.
Wake up, all right.
Anna Paulina Luna, member of Congress on a D-class committee, saying that it's time. There's plenty of evidence not pertaining to the victims. The DOJ can authorize its release. The FBI cannot release anything without the Justice Department authorization. The task force and all of its members will be asking for that on behalf of the American people. American people should be free to come to their own conclusions. The Trump administration is in the middle of like some historic wins right now. I don't know why you would take the L on this. This is a very important topic. I don't even know why it was released right now. Why it was leaked to Axios. The whole thing is nightmare after nightmare after nightmare. We need to investigate Pam Bondi. She's completely undermined the Trump administration. Direct statements made by both President Trump and J.D. Vance.
Idiots.
Reposting. J.D. Vance's old posts are going viral right now. What possible interest would the U.S. government have in keeping Epstein's clients a secret? Oh, if you're a journalist and you're not asking questions about...
These are back in 2021. These are all back in 2021. What possible interest would the U.S. government have in keeping Epstein's client list secret? Oh, if you're a journalist and you're not asking questions about this case, you should be ashamed of yourself. What purpose do you even serve? I'm sure there's a middle-class teenager somewhere who could use some harassing right now, but maybe try to do your job once in a while. Boy, did that backfire. So many people are on those tapes, or so many people are in on this shit. Or there's so much fucked up shit that's happened that the government has allowed, they're not letting it out. I don't know what the reason is. I don't know if Trump's on it himself. This is fucking ridiculous, though. This makes me sick today. Sick. This should have been a slam dunk. Or there's someone more powerful than Trump. Maybe Netanyahu runs the world. I don't know. But this is fucking disgusting today. This disgusts me today.
Case, you should be ashamed of yourself. What purpose do you serve? I'm sure there's a middle-class teenager somewhere that you could be harassing right now, but try and do your job once in a while, says J.D. Vance, about asking questions about Epstein. J.D. Vance, real tweet. Carolyn Levitt, same thing yesterday. And just kind of like, effectively saying, there's nothing to see here, have been transparent. But this is just not how the American people feel on this issue. And it's not how it's being communicated.
Nope.
Right? So like one of the, the statement that Pam Bondi says, I misspoke, right? I meant to say there was a file on my desk. Now we have the Epstein actual client list on my desk, but even that is being called into question when you put like the actual clips back to back. Here we go.
Tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released.
But
it's
he's innocent.
Volume, and that's what they're going through.
There was no
Also,
list.
The tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein.
Bullshit. I call bullshit.
That's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Saying that there's all these victims and then saying that these are just like, random downloaded
I call
horrible
bullshit.
images. That's not the same thing. It says she's lying, right? Like people who've observant of this and have followed it for
I was born at night, not last night.
Right?
I've been watching this shit for years.
Trump interrupted Pam Bondi before she could answer a question on Epstein. I'm done with politicians who protect terrorists.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I just don't.
Pretty disgusting.
This is what people are saying, okay? I'm just saying, this is what people are saying.
Quit making excuses for it, Benny. Quit making excuses for these fucking mutts. They fuck this case up, or someone else wears the pants, and it ain't our president. Or he's in on it too. Something is not fucking right about this. And unfortunately, we're never gonna fucking know, probably. And unfortunately, paid shills are just gonna keep defending why they didn't come out with it.
This is the worst response I've ever seen from President Trump. Probably the only bad response I've ever seen from President Trump. This is a really awful response. Trump blind loyalists get their talking points from Trump himself today. You're still talking about Epstein. Yes, we are. hundreds of victims in sworn testimony. I mean, it's the DOJ is saying that there's thousands and thousands of victims. That's what the DOJ is saying, not me. That's what the DOJ says. So, don't they deserve to have some type of like justice here?
No shit.
And not just have everyone like mysteriously suicided? Yes, people are still talking a lot about Jeffrey Epstein. We aren't going to forget about it anytime soon. Justice should be done, and the Justice Department is dropping the ball. Wow. Yikes.
This is infuriating to me.
Hand and face emoji. Pam Bondi. And that's it on Epstein.
All these people did for years was talk about Epstein and how they were going to get him and put an end to this child trafficking shit. And young women being, you-know-whatted. I can't say it. This is ridiculous. And I voted for Trump, and I think he's done a fairly good job. But this is unacceptable. This is unacceptable. And I would really fucking love to know why they're letting Epstein off the hook. So there's nothing on Epstein, but Ghislaine Maxwell is going to rot in a cell for 20 years. It makes no sense. 0 sense whatsoever. Anyone with a brain knows it makes no sense. And if you think it makes sense, you're a fucking moron.
I don't think people will accept this kind of answer. It feels like they want to wrap it up and forget about it. The days of saying we looked into it, bro, shut up, are over. Mm-hmm. Maybe that worked for your grandparents in the 1950s, back when the government trust was at an all-time high. We'd believe the feds. Not anymore.
Nope.
We all watched you kill a president on live TV. And we all watched you try and shoot Trump. So we just don't trust the government. We watched January 6th. We watched Hunter Biden laptop. The Epstein case isn't over. It's the Rosetta Stone of public trust. And if we don't get to the bottom of it, then we'll never restore what's already been lost. Says Glenn Beck. 100% says Elon Musk. The administration is handling the Epstein in the worst possible way. It's a very bad look. Can you give us the Epstein list? Sure thing. We just need to censor the victim's name, and it's gone.
Right.
It's gone. Trump is misreading his base on this massively. President Trump, you campaigned on revealing the truth about Jeffrey Epstein and exposing his client list. Now people are supposed to forget about it, while billionaires and world leaders get away with participating in global sex trafficking ring. Awful response. Major disappointment here from Riley Gaines. There's a bunch of people that
Yeah, people are fucking pissed, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. We're going to watch a whole breakdown by Jimmy Dory. This is pretty good. Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. We'll talk about it after this next video.
Alex Jones.
There must have been so many people wrapped up in this shit, they couldn't come out with it. And the people that were victims, they don't give a fuck about, apparently.
We're committed to ensure.
Apparently, they don't give a fuck about regular people. Only when it's time to get elected. It's the same old song and dance. I am not happy about this. And I still would have chosen Trump over that bitch. But this is fucking stupid. They bent the knee to someone. Or everyone was going to look like an asshole. And now everyone looks like an asshole still.
Supposedly malfunctioning. That was the original story, that the cameras were malfunctioning. Now they're saying, no, we got the video. What? They magically work years later. But watch this. Watch this. 1 minute is missing from the Epstein security phone.
Oh.
So watch this. So at 11:58:57, and then it goes right to 12. So spoiler alert, no Epstein files, but here's what Donald Trump said originally about them.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
Well, Elon Musk says time to drop the really big bomb. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Mark this post for the future. The truth will come out. That's what Elon Musk said. Guess what? Breaking. President Trump's Department of Justice and FBI conclude Epstein had no client list and committed suicide.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. President Trump's DOJ and FBI conclude Epstein had no client list and committed suicide. Bullshit. Bullshit. Yep, that's why Ghislaine Maxwell's sitting in jail for 20 years. Someone made Trump kiss the ring. He's involved with it, or all kinds of other politicians are involved with it. And there's obviously problems inside the CIA and FBI where information wasn't fucking available, or they have information on other people. So it's like a double blackmail. This is some real greaseball shit. And it's disgusting. Disgusting. It makes me lose faith in the justice system. We seen it with Diddy the other day. Now we're seeing it with this. It's fucking disgusting. This is going to be eye-opening.
That's real. Remember when J.D. Vance said this? Remember when we learned that our wealthiest and most powerful people were connected to a guy who ran a literal child sex trafficking ring, and then that guy died mysteriously in a jail, and now we just don't talk about it? He said that in 2021. Well, guess what now? Now? Nope, nothing to see here. Don't talk about it. Nothing to talk about, nothing to see. Even though they've been talking about it for years and years, now when they're in power, nothing to see here.
Yep.
Show's over. Go home, folks. President Trump, they have no evidence that convicted sex offender and disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein blackmailed powerful figures, kept a client. There's no evidence that he had a client list or was murdered. No evidence. According to a memo detailing the findings obtained by Axios, the administration is releasing a video, get this, in both raw and enhanced versions that it says indicates no one entered the area of the Manhattan prison where Epstein was held that night he died in 2019. The video supports a medical examiner's findings that Epstein died by suicide. He broke his own fucking neck in a minute.
So he broke his own neck in a minute. And that just happened to be the minute where the camera wasn't recording. And people are supposed to believe that shit. Do you know what the odds of that are? You probably got a better chance of getting struck by lightning several times.
Neck is what they're saying. Here's the video. Guess what? There's a minute missing from the video. Department of Justice releases 10 hours of surveillance footage claiming no one entered Epstein's cell before his death. Weren't the cameras supposedly malfunctioning? That was the original story, that the cameras were malfunctioning. Now they're saying, no, we got the video.
Just a minute's missing.
They magically work years later. So, but watch this. Watch this. 1 minute is missing from the Epstein security phone.
Oh.
So, watch this.
What a coinky-dink.
58:57. And then it goes right to 12. It just jumps. 11, boom. The findings represent the first time Trump's administration has officially contradicted conspiracy theories about Epstein's activities and his death. Theories that have been pushed by the FBI's top two officials before Trump appointed them to the Bureau. That'd be Dan Bongino and Kash Patel.
Yep.
Social media influencers and activists Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were among those in MAGA world who questioned the official version of how Epstein died. Patel and Bongino have since said Epstein killed himself, but it has become an article of faith online, especially on the right, that Epstein's crimes also implicated government officials, celebrities, business leaders, and that someone killed him to conceal. That's not on the right.
No, that's everywhere.
To your home.
That's not on the right. That's news everywhere saying that shit.
That's anybody with a thinking brain.
Yeah.
What do you think Jeffrey Epstein was doing? He was running a blackmail operation. What do you think he was doing? Sex trafficking, children. What do you think he was doing with Prince Philip? Was that what his name was? Prince Philip? Which prince was it that got in trouble?
Yeah, hold on.
The memo says no one else involved in the Epstein case will be charged. Epstein's associate, Maxwell, is serving
Prince
20.
Andrew.
What's that?
Prince Andrew.
Prince
Andrew.
Andrew. Sorry, Prince Andrew. For sex trafficking and related. Of course, she's in jail for 20 years for sex trafficking people to no one. She's trafficked kids to no one.
Yep, and Epstein's innocent.
She trafficked them.
It was just her.
That's what people want. According to the memo, investigators closely examined footage of Epstein's Manhattan prison cell between around 10:40 p.m. on August 9, 2019, when Epstein was locked in his cell, and around 6:30 a.m. the next day when he was found unresponsive or murdered. The footage, which was reviewed by Axios but couldn't be verified independently, showed no one entering the area, the administration said. The FBI enhanced the relevant footage by increasing its contrast, balancing the color, and improving its sharpness for greater clarity and viewability. Investigators found no incriminating client lists, no credible evidence that Epstein's blackmailed prominent individuals, and no evidence that could predict an investigation against uncharged third parties, the memo adds. So if you believe that, I've got a vaccine I'd like to sell you. It stops transmission and contraction and will end the pandemic. If you believe any of that. They
Crazy.
said for years there was no video. Now all of a sudden we got it.
Rage fucking bait.
And I can't speak for the veracity of that Twitter video. I can't speak for the veracity of that. But that looks exactly like something they would do. MAGA's media universe and some of its voices on Capitol Hill have expressed frustration with the Trump administration's handling of the Epstein case since February, when Department of Justice released a tranche of Epstein-related files that were already publicly available.
Yeah.
Conservative figures
Nothing new
demanded
came out.
disclosure, saying it lacked new information. Remember this? Remember that when they got these conservative media influencers and they gave them this dossier full of nothing? And they all celebrated as if they had gotten something. They didn't get anything. Representative Anna Paulina Luna says, I nor the task force were given or reviewed the Epstein documents being released today. A New York Post story just revealed that the documents will simply be Epstein's phone book. This is not what we or the American people asked for, and a complete disappointment.
No
Give
doubt.
us the information we asked for.
No doubt. This is horrible.
Questions about whether Trump's name is in the government Epstein files have persisted because they had been acquaintances who attended the same parties in the 1990s. But can I just show you? I want to get to the video. Bongiorno does a complete U-turn on Epstein. In 2023, he said this.
Listen,
That's why I never trusted Dan Bongino. I never got into this dude. I feel like this guy's been full of shit for years. I think a lot of these people just support Trump for money and a paycheck. I think they're all going to kiss his ass. And I think someone more powerful than Trump told Trump that shit is never coming out. Or there was so much shit on people, it couldn't come out. Because it would ruin everyone's money. This is just another example of people with money and power sticking it up regular people's behinds. And it makes me fucking sick. Makes me sick. It makes me not want to even vote anymore. It makes me not even want to fucking vote. Disgusted. Disgusted. I'm fucking disgusted today over this. It makes me not even want to fucking vote anymore. It wasn't the number one reason I voted for Trump, but it was on the list. It was one of the fucking reasons I did, that we were going to get to the bottom of some of these rich, powerful people that are doing horrible things to people and children, allegedly. And now there's nothing to talk about, nothing to see, and Maxwell sits in jail for 20 years. If you fucking believe that shit, I got a bridge to sell you. I got a couple of them. Let me know.
Please do not let that story go. Keep your eye on it. Catherine Rumler, we need to keep the heat on this case, folks. There are a lot of people who are knee deep in the Washington swamp who are not telling you the truth about serious allegations out there that Epstein may have had video and audio of people out there doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And you should be asking yourself the question, how is it that all these people, the CIA director, the Obama fixer, Bill Clinton, all intersected paths with Jeffrey Epstein? Jeffrey Epstein isn't with us anymore, and nobody seems to want to talk about it. Outside of a few entrepreneurial media outlets saying, hey, this is a big deal.
Yeah.
He killed himself.
Now it's not a big deal.
Again, you want me to get? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
Sure he did.
Wow, what a switcheroo. Here's Kash Patel. In March,
and Kash Patel always rubbed me the wrong way. Something about Kash Patel I don't fucking trust. I gotta keep it real. And I said it from day one. I don't fucking trust that motherfucker. I don't. I don't really trust none of them now. I don't trust none of them now. None of them.
Pam Bondi says the FBI has tens of thousands of Epstein videos. In April, Patel says that they vanished. In July, the Department of Justice says there's no client list, no names, suicide, case closed. They had the tapes, now they have amnesia.
Me, the prayer.
Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
Tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going.
Disgusted.
So, Jeffrey Epstein was running a sex trafficking ring to get blackmail, apparently on nobody.
Yeah. So there was no blackmail. There was nothing going on. So what are they going to do next? Release Ghislaine Maxwell too? This whole thing doesn't make sense. Not a single fucking bit of it. And all the right talked about. I voted for Trump. I bashed the left, but I keep it real. All these motherfuckers did was talk about how they're going to get Epstein, how they're going to expose all these rotten people hurting children and women, and how they were extorting people and blackmailing people. And now there's nothing to see. Nothing to see. Trump better watch out, dude, because he's losing people. He's going to lose people with this one. This was fucking stupid. Unless he's saving his own ass. Or there was so many lies they couldn't tell what's true. I don't know how government works. I know how it works. I know it's fuck over everyone you can. But I had a little bit of faith in fucking what was going on in this country before the pandemic. And I thought this was going to turn things around, bringing them back in. And this today leaves me pretty fucking disgusted. And they just act like no big deal. No big deal. Nothing to see. Nothing happened.
Apparently on nobody. That's what they're trying to tell us now. And then he kills himself. He was already convicted of sexual sex crimes already once, and he got a sweetheart deal where he spent a couple of weekends in prison and spent. And why did he get that sweetheart deal? Well, the guy who prosecuted him said, I was told to give him this deal because Jeffrey Epstein was intelligence.
No doubt, Arturo. This is something to protest about. I feel you on that. No fucking doubt. We're going to watch the end of this video and then we'll chop it up a bit. Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. This is a major L for Trump. I don't understand why he didn't follow through with it. We're going to talk about it. I want to know what other people think.
And now the guys who are in charge of the FBI say, no, nothing to see here. There's nothing to see. He didn't do anything. Jeffrey Epstein was just a dude. He didn't do anything. I like this. Elon Musk tweeted this out. Will we release the Epstein list? We just need more time. The Epstein list is on my desk. There is no Epstein list.
Right.
That's what Elon Musk tweeted out. Here is Benny Johnson in February 2025. You say that the FBI here. Well, let's watch it.
I wonder if this is why Epstein had a falling out with Trump. I mean, I wonder if this is why Musk. I wonder if this is why Elon was so fucking pissed off at Trump. I really do.
The same thing with Epstein's list. It's like, what the hell are these Republicans doing?
Oh, I saw you
give out the list.
I saw you make news this morning about that. I got to get to that. Yeah. You say that the FBI has Epstein's list. They're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're protecting the world's foremost predator. That seems like an evil thing to do, regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. You don't think that Bill Gates is lobbying Congress night and day to prevent the disclosure of that list? And why is it that the Senate, and good for Senator Blackburn to try to get it out, but then Dick Durbin comes over the top and says, no, we're not going to release the names. I don't care about the list itself, but he released the names, right? What the hell are the House Republicans doing? They have the majority. You can't get the list? You're going to accept...
What the fuck are you doing? You're the head of the FBI, you fucking asshole. What are you doing? I never liked this dude from day one. I didn't understand why Trump picked him.
Dick Durbin's word, or whoever that guy is, as to who is on that list and who isn't, and that it can and can't be released, put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are. We have an election coming up, and we need to adjudicate this matter at the polls. God knows the FBI and DOJ aren't going to do anything. But how are you going to reward the FBI with a new headquarters building after their illegal surveillance on Donald Trump continues with a reauthorization of FISA, and we can't even get basic documents out? This is why America hates Congress. And this is why I'm tired of the Republican majority saying they're going to get the job done and failing.
I wish I would have I should have led the story off with that video. That's them themselves saying these things. That's Pam Bondi, that's Kash Patel, that's Dan Bongino, themselves saying those things.
Yeah. Yep.
Now they're gonna pee on your leg and tell you it's raining.
I would have just voted for Democrats if this was what was going to happen.
The Epstein client list went from sitting on Pam Bondi's desk to never existing. This is the most blatant cover-up in history. The FBI is lying to protect the child rapist it should be going after. The government is so corrupt it can't even be trusted to hold pedophiles accountable. There it is. Pam Bondi, Jeffrey Epstein's client list sitting on my desk. FBI finds no Jeffrey Epstein client list. He did. It was a suicide. Nothing to see here. Donald
Case
Trump's
closed.
assassination in Butler, Pennsylvania. Case closed. It was just one guy.
What a fucking joke. What a joke. What a joke. And it doesn't necessarily mean Trump's on it, but it don't look fucking good. It makes it look bad. To people that don't like Trump, they're automatically going to go to because Trump's on it. And maybe he is. Maybe they fucking blackmailed Trump years ago. Maybe they got some dirt on him. I don't know. None of us do. Maybe someone more powerful than Trump. Trump don't run the world, obviously. Apparently, the president and the American government is not the most powerful machine in the world. That's another way to look at it. Maybe fucking someone had a talking to Trump and said, listen, if you go forward for this shit, we're going to get you on every fucking thing anyone did involved with you, and we're going to get it on you. Because Trump ain't squeaky clean. Trump did a lot of business deals in New York City with mafia and shit. There's some dirt on Trump if you dig. I'm sure. I'm sure there is. It's just the government shitting on American people and people around the world once again. And this is why other countries fucking hate us. This is why. When we stop fucking wars for no reason and lie and cover up and lie and cover up and lie and cover up. I thought we were done with that shit under Trump, but apparently we're not. Fucking sickening.
the existence of Epstein Island videos showing child sexual assault just days after Pam Bondi revealed the FBI has thousands of hours of such footage involving Epstein and his clients to comb through before releasing.
Again, logical play out. If there was a video of some guy or gal committing felonies on an island and I'm in charge, don't you think you'd see it?
Tens of thousands of videos of Epstein.
That's what I think, BMO. I think fucking Netanyahu told him, you don't drop that video. You don't fucking I think Netanyahu told him. That's what I think too. That's what I think, BMO. Him or someone else powerful said, if that shit comes out, watch out.
With children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going.
I have been saying for years that it was suspicious that Epstein died the very night that the news report came out, initially naming Trump on the flight log. Now, when Trump gets back in office, they close the case and say there is no client list. Here's Elon Musk. What's the time? Oh, look, it's no one has been arrested o'clock again. The official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest counter. 0.
Yep. Tens of thousands of fucking child porn videos, no arrests.
Some people still standing by it. They don't care. This isn't insurrection. Barbie says, I'm not saying we need to move on from Epstein. I want to see accountability for everything. What I'm saying is that Epstein is not the end-all, be-all defining moment of the Trump presidency.
No, he's not the end-all, be-all, but it's bad.
So you can sell some more rage and make money. It's not the that's. You can say that about anything.
Yeah.
Things that you should be outraged about. People should be outraged about it. It's not the reason why I would support President Trump or not support President Trump. It's important, but it's not. It's so is 100,000 other things. What I'm saying is that the perspective, nuance, patience, and common sense need to make a comeback and fast.
Oh, okay. Then let's talk about Israel. How's that?
But we did get Pago. Narrative over an issue they've been obsessing over now that the money is cleared. How much did the GOP pay for this post? So that's what Steve Bean says about that post. Alex Jones. Epstein files in. This is from February 2025. Epstein files incoming as Trump's massive moves against the deep state shatter the globalist infrastructure to make way for America first. Here it is. Buckle up. He tweeted this out. Buckle up, Hollywood.
Probably not, mommy. Probably not, mommy. I don't think Diddy's smart enough to do all that shit. But he's a part of it.
President Trump last night in a national television interview said that the release of the Epstein files, JFK files, and others is coming along well and will be out soon. They're obviously just redacting the names of any innocent people or informants or victims. But he said, look for the JFK thing, to be even bigger. And I think it's clear, the bad guys have hidden or destroyed. They've had all these years to do it, Comey and his daughter and the rest of them. So I don't know how much we're going to get there. But regardless, we have the UN running child human trafficking. We have DHS under Mayorkas and all of them, and just all these giant cases, the CIA finders cases and all of it. And I'm saying focus on Epstein. That's important. It's catch people's imaginations. It's key. But everything else is important as well. That's why I did that hour-and-a-half deep dive a few weeks ago with Ian Carroll that's right here on X and also at Man.video, where for an hour-and-a-half we cover a wide spectrum of it and some of the huge documented cases, of CIA giant child trafficking sex rings, just massive MI6, the British royal family. But it is a big deal that this is coming out. We're 56 days of the Trump administration. They are moving very, very quickly.
That could be why as well. There was a lot of implications towards the royal family. That could be another reason why they're not doing it. Them motherfuckers are powerful. Trust me. They don't call them fucking kings and queens still to this day because they're not.
Trump's come out and said basically everything Biden did, it's not just the part that is invalid. With the auto pen, he didn't know what he was signing. Most of the time he didn't sign it, like a liquid natural gas deal. They've got a criminal investigation going of that. So they're moving very, very quickly on every front. They're dismantling the whole globalist system.
So he said that on March 17th, 2025, he tweeted that out. And And here he is, July 7th, breaking exclusive. Trump must demand that Pam Bondi clarify her reports of 14 terabytes of children being raped after the Department
14 terabytes. 14 terabytes is a huge amount of data. Massive. I'm not going to look it up right now. Go look up how much 14 terabytes is. It's fucking probably, I can only imagine. I know it's an astronomical amount of data. 14 terabytes is a ton. And they can't find anything, no wrongdoing, nothing to see here. Bullshit. Bullshit. Lied to again. Doesn't matter which president we have, they all fucking lie to us. The powers that be continue to do what they want. Fucking disgusting.
Contradicting her claims to clear the air of the Epstein firestorm. Roger Stone also calls on AG Pam Bondi to answer.
Why would Pam Bondi say, we got 14 terabytes and hundreds of new victims, and put all that out? And you've also got the U.S. attorney and a bunch of others coming out and saying they've seen it, it's coming out. Why would they do all that and then now say, oh, actually, there's nothing? And I get it. There's not an official, here's my client list. He was talking to restaurants and lawnmowers and pool people and politicians and business. Obviously, most people that he's got numbers of aren't that's clear. The point is that why would they come out and say, we've got all this, we're going after them, they're going to be prosecuted, and then now 180 so fast?
That is a question that I think Pam Bondi has to answer.
14,000 gigabytes, holy shit.
We have a discrepancy. I believe Kash Patel when he says we don't have anything. That's because it was destroyed. And as far as Epstein killing himself, Michael Batten, the New York City medical examiner, probably the single most respected pathologist in the country, inspected Epstein's body and said that the wounds, that the broken bones in his neck were completely inconsistent with him hanging himself. And he also pointed out that he has conducted autopsies in 1,000 hanging cases. We also know that David Schoen, the criminal defense lawyer, was retained by Epstein, and they agreed to a very sizable retainer on the Thursday before the Saturday that he allegedly killed himself. So who hires a new lawyer to head his criminal defense and then kills himself 2 days later?
No shit.
Great points by Roger Stone. So, it's another sad day.
Yeah.
No matter who you vote for, you get John McCain.
Yep. No matter who you vote for, you get fucked.
Who knows? Was Elon Trump telling the truth about? Was Elon Musk telling the truth about Trump being in the Epstein files, and that's why we're not finding?
Yeah, let's talk about it. What do you guys think? Please like, share, subscribe to Nate's Live Talk. What do you guys think's going on? Oh, yeah. If their mouths are moving, they're lying. I had more faith in the Trump administration. I fell for it. All kinds of people were on this list. Not a doubt about it. And that's why it's not coming out. It would probably ruin the entire entertainment industry. It would probably ruin all of politics. It's not the only reason I voted for Trump, but it was one of them. I thought we were going to get to the bottom of these scumbags. You think Trump's on it? He could be. He very well could be. He very well could be. He very well could be. I think it's bigger than that. I think everyone and their mother's on it. I think everyone and their mother's on it. I would still vote Trump over Kamala. Either way. Either way, I would vote Trump over Kamala. I don't think Trump's on it. But he could be. It could be. I think someone with more power than Trump went and paid a visit to everyone and said, this shit never comes out. Netanyahu, Who knows? Maybe someone we don't even know. Maybe there's some fucking powerful person out there no one knows that really runs shit. Makes you wonder. The lawyers for the plaintiffs in the beginning of the Epstein files said Trump was the only willing and forthcoming person they interviewed. I never heard that. But he kicked the guy out of his hotel and shit. Didn't want nothing to do with him. Maybe because he fucking learned the hard way. Well, there's no proof of Trump being a pedophile. You can bash me any way you want, but I'd still vote for him over Kamala Harris. Unless I had proof he was a pedophile. I didn't see any proof. And it's not just up to Trump. It's the DOJ. It might not even be Trump. Trump could be fuming over it. And no one knows. Yeah, that's what I think, Mara. That's what I think. I think there's so many powerful people on it. It would destroy industry and business, and it would ruin those people's lives. And it's only okay to ruin regular people's lives, not rich, powerful people's lives. This is something worth protesting about. They should fucking put that list out. And the thing that bothers me about it is it was one of the biggest things they were talking about when they were running for president. J.D. Vance and Trump talked about it a lot. How they were going to get to the bottom of it. And now nothing to see. Nothing to see. And you know Clinton was on it. You know Clinton was on it. There's no doubt about that. Yeah, he could have got threatened. I'm sure dude, it's a dirty game. It's a dirty game. These people all have dirt on each other. And they all just do their thing. Have a nice night, Shark. Get a life. You're not just going to spam the chat, pushing your views on me. It's a discussion. You can't have a discussion. You're going to get rude. See you later. You would rather vote for the left than Trump with everything going on with this country? I'm sick of minorities crying about shit constantly. I'm sick of it. They get more than everyone free shit. And illegals getting free shit. Don't even get me started on that shit. I'm not going down that path tonight. We're talking about the Epstein shit. We're talking about the Epstein shit and why it didn't come out and the possibilities. I'm not talking all the way. I'm not going through all that other shit. We've battled it out for fucking months before the election. Battled it out. I have my reasons I voted for Trump. This was one of the smaller reasons. And it's sad. And it's going to hurt his presidency. It's going to hurt his presidency. Okay, Goongus. That's a hell of a story. You think Trump's using it to blackmail people? Maybe. It ain't fun, right? They fucked with Trump for years. Maybe it's payback. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Mara. He won. Unless it comes out he's on that list, which it's not going to come out. I don't know what to tell you. I don't think he was on it. He could be, though. He sure as hell could be. That could be one of the reasons. But I don't think he is. I really don't. They went through so much shit on Trump. I don't think he's on it. But I think he's got buddies on it. I think there's a lot of different shit going on. It's not just one thing. It's not just one thing. And the whole fucking thing's disgusting. It should come out. It just shows that the lack of the government or the people with power and money, they don't give a fuck about regular people. They don't care. They don't care. That's what it comes down to. They don't care. The people on that list, who cares if it destroys them? A lot of bad shit happened. Who cares if it destroys them? The powerful people care. Because they're all in bed with each other. Whether they're on the left or the right, they're all in bed with each other. This makes me not want to vote anymore for either of them. It really does. It makes me not want to vote for any of them. And I think Kash Patel fucked it up. I think maybe some shit went on when Biden was still in, where evidence fucking went missing. But Pam Bondi says she had all that evidence. Where the fuck did it go? Where the fuck did all the evidence go? Now there's nothing. Nothing to see here. Show's over. Show's over. Nothing to see here. It's not right. It's not right. I don't trust none of them no more after this. And it was a big running point. That's why I'm pissed off. All these people underneath Trump talked how they were going to get Epstein. They're going to get him. They're going to get him. They're going to get to the bottom of these people doing all this shit. And once again, regular people get it right up the kazoo. And it's disgusting. Disgusting. I told people this is like my last election. If it don't fucking work, I'm fucking done. Will Hoseley, Bill Clinton was his best friend. Trust me. Like, it's so funny. People just want to shit on Trump so bad. And I get it. I'm not happy with Trump or the administration right now. But, dude, if you support the left, the shit they've been fucking caught up in, they're fucking just as bad. If they're actually worse. And I'm like done picking parties at this point. I thought I picked the lesser evil. I still think I picked the lesser evil. I think Trump is still the lesser evil than Kamala Harris and the fucking wacky left. Because the Democrats aren't the Democrats that I grew up with. I used to vote Democrat. You couldn't fucking get me to vote Democrat if you paid me. You couldn't get me to vote Democrat if you fucking paid me nowadays. And maybe now you can't get me to vote right. Maybe I'm just fucking done with it. Maybe I'll just dog them all. Because they're all fucking idiots. But this is a big one. It's awful to have to pick the lesser evil. That's why I just want to wash my hands of it. That's what I feel like right now. Fucking sad. Sad. This is the biggest fumble of Trump's fucking political career. Biggest fumble. No doubt about it.
A story comes out, ABC News.
And I'm not going to defend
DOJ,
them.
FBI.
A million people are out there pointing fingers each way. I'm not just going to kiss Trump's ass because I voted for him. I'm not that guy. People make mistakes. People fuck up. Someone dropped the ball. But this is a cover-up. There's no doubt this is a cover-up. No fucking doubt about it. A cover-up, a scandal. I don't know what it is. But there's something not fucking right about this. And it doesn't take a fucking rocket scientist to figure it out. Patrick Bet David and some of the boys have to say. I want to hear what some people that supported Trump have to say.
Review finds no Jeffrey Epstein client list, confirms suicide. That's the memo that comes out. And Rob, I think you may have a video on this one, not just one. You got a lot of videos that we're going to be going through.
That's what I said, T-Guy.
So to remind folks,
why is Ghislaine in jail?
Justice Department and FBI review ordered by President Trump, appointed leadership found no evidence that notorious deceased financier Epstein kept a client list of associates whom he blackmailed or conspired with to victimize dozens of women, stating that investigators did not cover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. The review released hours of reported footage, perpetrated footage, confirming Epstein died by suicide in Manhattan jail in 2019. The DOJ memo states, perpetuating unfounded theories about Epstein serves neither of those ends. Now, Attorney General Pam Bondi faced criticism from Trump supporters for delays in releasing Epstein's case files, which she attributed to tens of thousands of hours. This is one of the videos. Rob, is this one of the original videos when she talked about it?
Yeah, so I have February, March, and April of this year, 3 different instances where Pam Bondi talks about the Jeffrey Epstein client list. This is from February.
Go for it. So this is the first one.
Maybe releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed because that was done at the directive of the president from all of these agencies.
So that's the first one.
So have you seen anything?
That's the first one. Then it goes to the next one. Go for it, Rob.
And the FBI handed over a couple hundred pages of documents. But, you know, Sean, I gave them a deadline of Friday at 8 a.m. to get us everything. And a source had told me where the documents were being kept, Southern District of New York, shock. So we got them all by, hopefully all of them, Friday at 8 a.m., thousands of pages of documents. I have the FBI going through them, and Cash is also, now that we have Cash here, it's a game changer, of course, and Cash is going to, Director Patel, is going to get us a detailed report as to why.
So far we know. Now go to the next one, Rob.
Oh, this is fucking terrible.
O'Keefe Media Group found
the restaurant.
video.
The restaurant, right.
Yeah, the restaurant. So after O'Keefe Media Group.
Unless the Department of Justice didn't want to do anything with it, and Trump can't do anything. I don't know how the law works. We should really look into that. Maybe it's not on Trump. Maybe the DOJ has to do it. Maybe it's not even on Trump. I'm just saying. I'm playing devil's advocate. I'm trying to think of reasons why this may have occurred. Maybe they couldn't do anything. Maybe it was some crooked shit by them. But this looks fucking horrible. And I know I'm infuriated. I know most of America's pissed off right now.
Group found the video.
Rightfully so.
And Pam Bondi, this is what she had to say. Go for it.
Yeah, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. And no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement, but I'll call them.
You can pause that. And then this is what, Rob? This is
Alina Habba. This is her with Piers Morgan back in February, where she talks about the Jeffrey Epstein client list and the names being revealed.
Go for it.
But in this case, in Epstein's case, it is incredibly disturbing. We
have,
where
the fuck is she then?
We have information, names that will come out.
Is it going to be shocking?
I don't see how it's not shocking that there were so many individuals that were hidden and kept secret and not been held accountable. Let's talk.
And now they're still not going to be held accountable. Now they're still not going to be held accountable. This is a coward-ass move. Like, I thought Trump had balls. I thought, like, the people that were working with him had balls. Unless it's something he has no control over, and he's fucking pissed, and he doesn't want to talk about it, but he's got to talk about it. because it was a big fucking issue. He's got to put his fucking big boy panties on and suck it up and let people know what the fuck happened if it's something not to do with him. I don't know how the justice system works with something like that. It's such a huge crime. I have no clue.
About the reverse. I believe in accountability. So you have to now go through your process. Now, I won't say they're guilty until they go through their time in court. But again, now it's time for accountability. We have seen for so many years, Pierce, in this country, many investigations, subpoenas, testimonies in Congress, et cetera, et cetera. But there's a general frustration with accountability. We take it halfway. We don't take it home. And I really believe that now with Cash and Pam, there will be accountability.
All right. So you can pause it. Now, we got a lot of other clips. Okay. Rob, if you can go to the one clip about the video released of the cell. Okay. So they dropped the video footage of the cell. Okay. Assuming this is the cell, but it doesn't match the one from CBS. So
fuck that cell. They keep bringing up the cell. Who cares about the cell? Who gives a fuck? It has nothing to do with the information coming out. Why do they keep bringing up the cell like it has something to do with it? I'm so sick of hearing about that cell. We want to know who's on the fucking list. We want to know who's on the list. We don't care about that cell. Unless he's still alive, which we'll never know.
Just happened at the cabinet meeting. We think it was Stephen Nelson of the New York Post, but apologies if we have that wrong, who brought up the Epstein release, seemed to be directing it toward Pam Bondi. You will hear Trump interrupt her to try to entirely change and set the narrative. And then she comes back up. Wow, listen to the following.
Your memo and release yesterday on Jeffrey Epstein, it left some lingering mysteries. One of the biggest ones is whether he ever worked for a American or foreign intelligence agency. The former Labor Secretary, who was Miami U.S. Attorney Alex Costa, he allegedly said that he did work for an intelligence agency. So could you resolve whether or not he did? And also, could you say why there was a minute missing from the jailhouse tape?
Yeah, sure. If I could,
Did I just interrupt for
Sure.
1 second? Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years.
This is ridiculous. Where did the temperature change come from? You've been talking about him for years, bro. You talked about him in like 2015, 2016, going for office. This is what I don't fucking get. This is fucking stupid. Like, I don't understand why he responded this way. Like, he expects people to fucking forget about it. It's just gonna go away. This ain't going away, Donnie.
Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this, where we're having some of the greatest success and also tragedy with what happened in Texas. It just seems like a desecration, but you go ahead.
Sure. First, to back up on that, in February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said, I was asked a question about the client list, and my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that. Also, to the tens of thousands of video, they turned out to be child porn downloaded by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. Child porn is what they were. Never going to be released, never going to see the light of day. To him being an agent, I have no knowledge about that. We can get back to you on that. And the minute...
Well, you've been investigating it for months, and you still have no knowledge on it? You must not be doing a very good fucking job. Or there's nothing on it. Or it's covered up. Or fucking someone with more power than our own president told you, you guys better shut the fuck up.
Missing from the video, we released the video showing definitively the video was not conclusive, but The evidence prior to it was showing he committed suicide. And what was on that, there was a minute that was off the counter. And what we learned from Euro...
Why do they keep bringing up his suicide? It has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like, it's just filler, so you don't think about that list. People want to see that fucking list. People want people brought to justice. I know a lot of people that have voted for Trump that are pissed. Pissed. Myself included. I'm fucking pissed. I still would have voted for him over fucking Kamala. But he shouldn't have opened this can of worms if he wasn't going to get to the fucking bottom of it. They should have never opened this can of worms if they weren't going to fucking figure it the fuck out. Shame on them.
Prisons was every year, every night. They redo that video. It's old, from like 1999. So every night the video is reset, and every night should have the same minute missing. So we're looking for that video to release that as well, showing that a minute is missing every night. And that's it on Epstein.
Good grief. That was no bueno, guys. That was no bueno. Okay, President Trump had the same problem there that Caroline Leavitt had yesterday. The dodge.
No, because Kamala Harris is a dumb cunt. That's why I wouldn't vote for her. And I seen what she did to California. Had nothing to do with her being a woman.
Should not be obvious. It should be subtle. It should be deftly worked into a more substantive answer. It shouldn't be, hold on, I want to answer that before you answer that, my underling. Why are you interested in Jeffrey Epstein? That old story? That is not a thing. We should not talk about that. Creep. That is unbelievable that you want to waste the time. Do you want to answer?
Hey, Doris, suck a dick up till you hiccup. Have a nice day. Why don't you suck on my 2-inch wiener?
Answer that? And then she doesn't take the cue. Yeah, I'm fine answering it. Trump's like, hello, I just told you the answer. And then, what is she saying? I meant the file. The question was unambiguous. List, client list. John Roberts couldn't have asked it any more acutely. Client list. She didn't say the files. She said it in response is sitting on my desk. Okay, but now she says, I meant the file. Then what we found was tens of thousands of pictures of child pornography. As I said, that my deduction was correct. And then she says, by that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. She does this in all of her interviews. She takes a little pivot. She goes down a little tributary to try to waste time talking about how he's so disgusting. There was one from February 26th, where I think we have it, SOT 12, where she talks about how we have 200 cases, victims, maybe 250. Let's just play it, because I want to show you. This is, she keeps doing this. She's using filler so that she doesn't have to stay on substance. Trust me, as a lawyer, I've seen it a million times. Here it is in SOT 12. I think it's in here. I haven't seen the final cut of this SOT.
Said last week that you have the Epstein files on your desk. When can we see them, and what's taking so long to release them?
I do. Jesse, there are well over, this will make you sick, 200 victims. 200. So we have over 250 actually. So we have to make sure that their identity is protected and their personal information. But other than that, I think tomorrow, the personal information of victims. Other than that, I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office.
What kind? Are we going to see who was on the flights? Are we going to see any evidence from what he recorded? Because he had all of his homes wired with recording devices.
Yeah, what you're going to see, hopefully tomorrow, is a lot of flight logs, a lot of names, a lot of information. But it's pretty sick what that man did.
Okay, well,
along with his co-defendant.
Absolutely, and he had help. That's for sure.
He sure did.
Okay. That was the night before the influencer event. She was not saying we have no names. She was already saying we have videos. So when she's saying more information is coming, which she then doubled down on in March, she'd already revealed that there were these, pornography things that weren't going to be released. They're not going to release anything involving the actual victims' names, which of course we all know. Everybody knows that. She's teasing something else. And she does these side tributaries of, he's disgusting. It's so gross. What a pervert. That's filler. There's a reason she's doing that. I'm telling you, what it's telling us is she's nervous. And the truth is not her friend for whatever reason. I don't know. I wish I did. But what that tells me is the truth is not her friend. That's why she's using filler, even to the moment where this New York Post in the cabinet meeting reporter asked her. And she's going on about how, once again, tens of thousands, that disgusting Jeffrey Epstein. And it's not ever going to be released, as if anybody who's criticizing them is like, let me see the child pornography. Literally nobody's saying that. This is a straw man, right? They're trying to be like, inappropriate. No one's asking to see that stuff. We know we can't. We don't want to see any of that. But she's acting like that's the issue when it's not, which is another tell. I have no information on him being an agent. What? That's been out there since we knew the name Jeffrey Epstein. I'll look into it. Now you're going to look into it? And then the Minute Before Midnight, guys, our film came up. The Minute Before Midnight is actually a thing. She confessed to it and then actually said some nonsense about how the video's not conclusive. What? I don't think that's the FBI stance. I think the FBI, based on watching Dan Bongino on Fox and Friends a couple weeks ago, thinks it is conclusive. She says the video is not conclusive, but evidence prior to it was. Huh? What evidence? Oh, no.
Doris, go take your bipolar medication and have a nice life. You sound like a wonderful woman. Sound like you're totally sane. What a fucking nutcase.
No one knows what the hell you're talking about. And then she talks about how every night the Bureau of Prisons redoes the videotape so they lose the Minute Before Midnight every night, which, if that's verified by looking at other tapes, will only cause more questions because everybody's going to say, oh, so they knew they had 1 minute at midnight to get in and get out, and it could be explained by the fact that none of that clarified anything. Your thoughts?
Well, I think it certainly makes that minute all the more interesting because, as you say, I mean, that didn't help at all. And I think I understood exactly what she was saying, which is that this is standard operating procedure, that there's a minute before midnight that isn't taped every night. And what we're going to do is show you that that is consistent over other nights, as if that sort of explains it. So the accusation isn't that, someone eliminated a minute before midnight. It's almost worse. It's like, they know that there's 1 minute that isn't taped every night. And so, this is catnip for conspiracy, right? I mean,
now we know people who worked in the prison would know about this weird thing that you're not taping for a minute. So they would know that. They were the only people who would know that. Can you kill a guy in a minute? I guess we'll find out. They'll have, the Trump administration will be all over the map on that too. But this is a mess, Megan. You're right. just
what up, B Young?
I'm even less of a conspiracy theorist than you are. I just assume that sophisticated conspiracies by evil actors and hundreds of people in on it. No, incompetent people who then cover their ass. Yes, but why would she just say that? Why would she say that minute is not taped every night? What is that?
She should have taken Trump's lead, followed his lead. Do you even want to answer that? The proper answer, according to the president, would have been, no, let's move on. But she had to, because she's getting beaten up in the press, Tom. And there's no question she just made it worse.
Yep. She did. But to me, the most interesting thing was Trump. I mean,
yes.
Of course. Everybody's been talking about Epstein. It's never gone away. Elon Musk just mentioned his name connected with Epstein. Like, it was a big deal like a week ago. They announced on Sunday night there's no case. Of course we're going to be talking about it. He's like, this is a desecration. I'm like, what? Since when?
Tone deaf.
It was so obvious. Trump didn't even sound persuasive, Tom. When Trump's genuinely annoyed that something comes up, Big Daddy's not afraid of being like, F off, you
Right,
you nasty reporter.
exactly.
This was him
Yes.
like, I am indignant that you would bring up Jeffrey Epstein when there are more
It was
important
just
subjects.
So weird. Yeah. No, that was weird.
He
I
just
don't
didn't
know
want her
what's
to talk
happening.
about it, Megan. He just was trying to get her to be quiet. He just didn't want her to answer the question.
Yeah,
Yes, she was too thick to take the lead.
absolutely.
Since President Trump was sworn in, his administration has made enormous progress at a breakneck pace. But don't forget, while they're moving mountains for the good of the nation, you've got your own personal savings to worry about.
And he's done well. Other than this, I think Trump's done well. This was a huge, huge mishap. This was bad. If people let me talk instead of just getting to name calling and saying nasty shit, maybe we could have some dialogue about it. They mishandled it. I don't know the reasons for it. People on the left automatically draw a line in the sand saying Trump's on the list. That's why it's not coming out. Elon Musk is saying it. Him and Trump had a falling out. Maybe Trump's on it. I'm sure a lot of people are on it. I'm not making excuses for Trump. We're not going to know, unfortunately. And it disgusts me. That's the bigger point. People should look at this all the way around and realize whether you're on the left or the right, people with money don't care about regular people. The people on left with the money didn't care about the regular people and the children that were allegedly hurt in this. And the people on the right dropped the ball. I don't know what happened. We just found out. Everyone's jumping to conclusions, especially people on the left. I'm fucking upset about it too. I'm so upset about it. I'm with you. I still would, like, as long as Trump ain't on that list, I would still choose him over Kamala. I would not vote for Kamala Harris if you fucking paid me. And if Trump was on the list, I wouldn't vote for him either. But everyone's just jumping to conclusions. I got some old bag yelling at me, telling me I got a 2-inch, you know what. Other people saying it wouldn't surprise me if you were on the list. Stupid behavior, stupid baby bullshit. Guys, if you're going to come hang out, grow the fuck up. No one wants to hear that baby stupid bullshit. We're going to find out eventually. Maybe years down the road, people will write books about it. And you can make everyone's got their own assumption right now. I think there was too many people that were powerful that they couldn't let it out. And I think someone paid Trump or the Department of Justice a visit. But obviously something's fucked up. Obviously something's fucked up. Maybe Trump's using it as the bargaining chip. And that's fucked up too. Maybe Trump's fucking sticking it to people. Saying if you don't do what you're supposed to do, that list comes out. Your fucking name's on it. People don't look at it that way either. There's so many possibilities. So many possibilities, but people just rush to, oh, it's because Trump's on it. Oh, it's because of this. It's because of that. It could be a million reasons. It could be by law, the Department of Justice. It's up to them. And they close the case. Maybe the president doesn't have a say in it. It's not like anyone in here knows law. Myself included. Not to that degree. So everyone just running around with no fucking education and no information on it. You don't know shit about shit. It's just a conversation we're having. I wonder if I can look it up quickly. And that's right. Biden could have dropped it for a long time. But we know why Biden didn't, because we know Bill Clinton was on there quite a bit. We know the Bushes were there quite a bit. I think the DOJ has more power. I think the DOA has more power. It's not up to the fucking president. And I think that's what some people aren't realizing. I don't think it's even up to Trump. And the DOJ came back saying they didn't find anything. Trump isn't the DOJ. Everyone forgets that as well. I'm pissed off, guys. I'm pissed off. But, like, can we use some fucking sense? Can we do a little research? Can we actually look into it before you just jump to conclusions and stop fucking saying nasty shit on my chat? That would be the rational thing to do. A review was ordered by Trump. Let's see who this article's from. This is by ABC. Take it with a fucking grain of salt, I'm sure, just like everyone else. Yeah, and then you got fucking Trump beefing with Elon. And who knows if Elon's lying or not? Who the fuck knows? These people have major money and major influence. Major money and major influence. These people will fucking walk on people like bugs. They don't give a fuck. It's my one knock of capitalism. It's like the one thing that's fucked up about capitalism.
Your memo and release yesterday,
One of them.
it left some lingering mysteries.
Because you get some fucking sociopath in there with power and money. He can just dominate everything. So Trump ordered a review. FBI found no evidence. It was on the FBI. Trump ordered a review. FBI found no evidence that deceased financier Jeffrey Epstein kept a client list of associates whom he blackmailed or conspired to victimize dozens of women. And they released the bullshit footage, which I don't even know why anyone even cares about the footage at this point. The footage is irrelevant. The list coming out is what people care about. People don't care if he killed himself or not. People don't give a fuck. People want to know who the fuck was doing all this rotten shit. I don't know why people keep being like, oh, he killed himself. I don't know why people give a fuck. I don't give a fuck how that piece of shit died. Who gives a fuck how he died? Good. Piss on his fucking grave. Guy was a fucking scumbucket. Obviously. Obviously. Anyone that has a picture of Bill Clinton in a fucking dress on his wall and they hang out and party together, he's a fucking piece of dog shit. Trust me. Doesn't take a fucking genius. Department release boppity bop. I don't care how he died. The piece of shit's dead. The memo is also likely to generate outrage among those who have claimed Epstein's known high-profile associates could be implicated in his crimes. According to the FBI and DOJ review, no further charges are expected in connection with their probes into Epstein, as investigators did not uncover evidence that could predicate an investigation against uncharged third parties. Attorney General Pam Bondi has previously promised the public release of scores of records associated with federal probes into Epstein, though in recent interviews she has claimed the delay was attributed to tens of thousands of videos within the FBI's possession showing potential, of minors, videotape. In late February, Bondi handed out binders. We remember that with social media influencers at the White House. Files that ultimately contained little new information. No new information ever came out that they made public. This move caught White House officials off guard and outraged some supporters of the president who had been promised that more details were made public. Yeah. It's a shame. I guarantee if the people he fucking hurt were worth money, they would have found out. If it was fucking Trump's granddaughter, he would have found out. And maybe it's not on Trump. I don't know. I have to do more research. I keep trying to rephrase the question over and over, and it keeps bringing up bullshit. April 22nd, Trump said he was unaware when the files would be released. He said just speak to the Attorney General about it. I really don't know. It's on the DOJ, like I had said. People just like to point the fucking finger because they don't read anything. They don't read anything, but it still bothers me. And then you got Elon Musk running his fucking mouth. So, who knows? I just don't understand why Trump's like, oh, it's old news, let it go. Maybe he's embarrassed about it, but it's so fucking tone deaf the way he acted. The way he acted is just tone deaf, and he looks like an asshole. Looks like an asshole about it. Trump said this has been talked about for years and years, and as you know, I was not friendly with Epstein for 18 years before he died. Not friendly with him at all. Intense private conversations. Supposedly, Bondi pressed FBI Director Kash Patel to review the still secret information from the case involving one of the most infamous trafficking criminals in modern history. As many as 1,000 FBI agents, many of whom were typically focused on national security matters, were enlisted to help with the effort. The FBI blew this. That's my conclusion for now. That's what it sounds like to me. I don't like Kash Patel. I didn't like him when they brought him in for the job. I don't think he's all that. He's got a weird little vibe about him. I don't trust him. But who knows if we'll ever know. In March, Bondi was asked about pressure from Trump's voting base to release more files, confirmed that the department was working to make them public. The MAGA group is mad that we don't know more about the Epstein files. Are you going to give us any more information? Bondi responded that Director Kash Patel was working on providing the DOJ with a timeline for the next document release. And that's all it fucking says. So it sounds like it was on the FBI to do something and they chose not to. I don't know if Trump had a hand in it. None of us do. I will try to do some research on it, but does the FBI trump the president in something like this? Probably. Does the FBI have more power than the president in the Epstein case? Let's see if that brings up anything. Does the FBI have power to decide who gets prosecuted? All right, here we go. From the beginning of the new national government in 1789, the president has had an attorney general to act as a legal advisor. For a time, actually prosecuting criminals was a sideline for that officer. Private lawyers were hired to do that task, and that approach grew, by the end of the Civil War, to be very expensive. In 1870, Congress decided to create a Department of Justice with its own staff of lawyers, and from then on, it was the chief law enforcement agency in the presidential cabinet. While the department and all of its sub-agencies do work under the president's leadership, and that can raise the prospect that politics will enter into the department's work. Most attorney generals have tried to keep a wall of separation between how and who they prosecute, on the one hand, and the politics of law and order on the other. The public's perception of justice has depended on that wall, attorney generals have said over and over again. From the attorney general down through the ranks of the department's employees and sub-agencies, the tradition of political impartiality is taught as a matter of professional ethics. In fact, every lawyer in the department must attend a refresher course in legal ethics. It's an integral part of the department. The Federal Bureau of Investigation is supposed to share in that tradition. Boppity-bop. But the public may not understand that the FBI does not have the job of deciding who should or should not be prosecuted for crime. It was created to do investigations, period. When it finishes one of its probes, it can and usually does make recommendations, but someone else has the job of deciding what to do with the results of those investigations, an actual prosecutor, which I would assume is Pam Bondi. Or I don't know if they get a lawyer from the DOJ. I don't know. The Supreme Court has raised the role of prosecutor to a level of eminence that is close to that of a judge. Judges have long been immune to being sued for the way they perform their tasks on the bench in the Supreme Court. In a famous decision in 1976 in the case of Imbler versus Packman, declared for the first time that prosecutors too are almost entirely immune for the choices they make about filing charges and pursuing them at trial. That's kind of fucked up. Of course, even the Supreme Court, I gotta take a sip, hold on. Pardon me. Of course, even the Supreme Court cannot insulate prosecutors from public and political criticism about how they perform their jobs. And if a given prosecutor abuses the office by going outside the scope of their official duty, they are subject to legal claims of malicious prosecution. But because of their normal legal immunity is so expansive, it is very difficult to prove the misuse of power in a given case. The Supreme Court has made clear repeatedly that this broad immunity is designed to encourage behavior by prosecutors that will keep the public's trust while at the same time maintaining prosecutors' independence. All of these questions of professional responsibility and legal immunity of prosecutors can suddenly gain very high political visibility, especially when a criminal investigation is aimed at a prominent political figure. No matter how impartial the FBI may be in conducting such an investigation, or a federal prosecutor may be in deciding what to do with the results of an FBI investigation, there is almost no way to avoid political controversy in such a case. And this is from the Constitution Center daily blog of Law Journal. FBI Director James B. Comey and his ultimate boss at the Justice Department, Attorney General Loretta Lynch, have understood these political realities. No matter, and this is old, but it gives you the gist. No matter what course the FBI investigation took into the email controversy at the State Department, and no matter what will be done with the results of that probe, each of them understood that they were functioning on a public stage, made even more intensely public by the fact that this is a presidential election year and that one of the two candidates was a central figure in the investigation, former Secretary of State Clinton. Legal conclusions have already been drawn by the FBI's team, and Attorney General Lynch has already said that she would defer to whatever the Bureau recommended to her. That will be the judgment that emerges from the DOJ, Department of Justice. Although both of them may be summoned before Congress to answer questions, they are sure to stand by the choices they made or will make. Then in November, it will be up to America's voters to have the say in that matter. They think it bears upon their political choice. I'm using that as an example. So it's up to the DOJ. It wasn't fucking based on this. Now, if you're one of those people that think Trump did some shit, then I can't change your mind. I'm just looking at things objectively, like most people with a brain do. And I thank you guys for listening to me while I read through that. I hope it gave us some context other than just going down rabbit hole after rabbit hole. Maybe the DOJ said it wasn't worth it because there was too many big names on it and it was going to cause too much turmoil. There's such thing called collateral damage. It's a movie. Check it out. It's a real thing. And America does it better than anyone. But I'm pissed off. I don't think they should have dropped the ball on this. I think a lot of the reason they did is because supposedly he's dead. Supposedly he's dead. As far as we all know, he's dead. People can believe what they want. You can type in the chat 85 times that he's not dead or how he killed himself. It's all irrelevant. All we know is he's dead. Regular people like us, that's all we know. So, a little bit of context with that. I just came on to look into it and see what people thought and have some dialogue. I'm not picking sides. This isn't about picking sides. I'm talking about this Epstein list and looking into it. That's why I just read through all that stuff. Try to learn something. This conversation was not supposed to be about picking sides, but as usual, it becomes that, unfortunately. But at least it didn't end that way, it feels like. I'm pretty bummed out. I really wanted to know what happened. I really wanted the people that... I don't even care to know what happened. I want the people that did the bad shit to go away. No one should go through sexual abuse. That's horrible. Horrible. It's like probably the worst thing you could do to someone. Especially a young person. Come on. It's wrong with anyone, but it ruins people's lives. And him not being around, he doesn't have to testify anyway. He could have, even if he was alive, he could have pled the fifth. So, like, him being alive doesn't necessarily change anything. Unless they start getting information on him and people stop folding, which I don't think was going to happen. Like I said, that's why I titled today's live stream what I titled it. Money talks and bullshit walks. You see it time and time again. And when shit like this happens, I always think about that song with DMX and the Locks and Little Kim, Money, Power, Respect. First you get the money, then you get the power, and after the power comes the respect. I'd rather be a regular, degular guy. I'm glad I'm not any of those fucking people. Sounds like a grimy fucking world you get stuck in. Sorry, guys. My chat bogged down. I'm way behind in the chat. It froze. Way behind. They work hand in hand, Jet. They can't force anyone to do anything. They both have, like, pretty much immunity. The prosecutor and the judge. The prosecutor is like almost the judge as far as it goes concerning the DOJ. That's what that said. Bureaucracy, absolutely, Be Young. Good to see you, Be Young. It's funny, I always catch you in a chat. I scroll through other people's lives just to see what they're talking about. See if I can figure something out for my show sometimes. Sometimes to support other shows, give people a thumbs up that are small YouTubers like me. And I always bump into you in like a chat, like once a month. It's so funny. I'm glad you came back to say hello. What's good, Defends? Julie, I agree. Yeah, I've been going to bed earlier since I've been trying to lose weight. And I got some side jobs and shit. I always got side work, so and I don't got to be to work really early, but I've been trying to lose weight, so I've been going to bed earlier and getting up early, trying to walk a couple miles. I don't know what to think about Elon defense. I don't know what to think about him, because like Elon's got like fucking he's brilliant. Don't get me wrong, but you see how he gets in his feelings and weird about shit. But that's a huge accusation to make. But I think Elon's fucking got a little bit of fucking. I think he's got a touch of. I always forget the name of what the fuck it's called. I think he's got a touch of. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. You guys always remind me when I say something like this about someone. He's got a little autism. Thank you, Jet. I always want to say Alzheimer's, and I know it's not Alzheimer's. I know it's autism, but I always forget it. Or Asperger's, same kind of shit. Yeah. So I never know how to take them. Asperger's. I never know how to take them. I never know how to take them. And I don't know. He's always doing different shit. I don't know. I don't know how much I trust Elon. I don't know how much I trust Elon, to be honest. I'm starting to think everyone that's rich is a fucking worm. Yeah, everyone had to come together and revolt. Absolutely, be young. And even then, the rich people probably still got something up their sleeve for us. Excuse me. Yeah, I think it's a combination of thing, D. I think it's a combination of stuff. I think someone might have went and had a conversation with the powers that be. I don't think Trump's the most powerful. I don't think our president's the most powerful person in the world. I think there's someone more powerful. Or there was so many people that were so powerful on that list. And the powers that be are disgusting, deplorable people that they couldn't let it out. Yeah, pretty much, Jet. That's what I kind of feel like, too. I don't know if it's some weird cabal, some fucking... Who knows? Maybe... You see that movie? What's that movie Stanley Kubrick made? Eyes Wide Shut, I think it was. You see these movies and you see people talk about it. And everyone says bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. But it makes you. Thank you, Kai, and thank you, Defense, for the bless you. Appreciate it. How have you guys been? A lot of people in here tonight that I haven't seen in a long time. I haven't been talking politics much. I've been doing a lot of sports coverage, and now that it's only baseball, I haven't been online as much. Good to see you guys. Football's coming up soon, thank God. Yeah, Bill Gates. I'm sure there's a ton of people from the Middle East involved with it, and Israel, and all over. I'm sure the list goes on and on. I think that's part of the reason it's not coming out. Yuck. I gotta clean this fan. It's just blowing fucking dust in my face. Ugh. Yeah, I should do the same, Kai. But I've been getting up early every morning walking. It'll work for now. It's not a race. It's a marathon. A Clockwork Orange. I'll have to check that out. That's it, buddy. Slow and steady. It's going to come off. I know it's going to. Just got to be consistent. Yeah. No doubt, be young. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect. Money, power, respect. No doubt. I thought they had him nailed. I thought they had these pricks nailed. Who knows? Maybe, like I said, we read all that shit a minute ago. Maybe it's the DOJ's call. I don't know. But I'm disappointed. I'm really disappointed at Kash Patel. I always was leery about him. I always was leery about him. Yeah, right, Chad? That'd be something. Yeah, Dan Bongino, I have no faith in. I never trusted that dude. Never trusted him. Never watched many of his videos. A lot of people do that shit to make money, man. They rode that Trump chain, you know. I never did it to really grow or anything. I just found it interesting. I thought I couldn't trust anyone. I couldn't trust Kamala. And I couldn't believe that people really supported her the way they did. And I wanted to try to make people see how bad it would be underneath her. That's why I started talking about it. Yeah, maybe, Jet. I mean, to be a fly on the wall in some of those rooms. You know, one day it'll probably come out, some of it. People will make books about it and shit. I'll keep my eye out. I read quite a bit. I don't like always have physical books, but I do read quite a bit. And I wish I could afford to buy the books, but they're fucking expensive and they take up space. But I have a Kindle and I have audiobook and Audibles and shit. What's up, Joe Waters? And I'm sure there'll be, I'm sure in due time, there'll be many books that you can read about this if you find it interesting. Just, I feel bad for the people that were hurt. I feel really bad for the people that were hurt. And it makes me lose some faith in the justice system. First Diddy, now this. And like Diddy didn't get off, but he got off for all the big stuff, you know. He got off for all the big shit. Exactly, be young. Exactly. That's a good analogy. It's like the lawyers in every town, they are on the golf course together and we are paying them to fight each other. Oh, yeah. And the judges, and the cops, and the mayors. That's what happens when you give people power. They take advantage of it. Both sides. Both sides. My teeth are killing me. Well, the people that are involved in it, they're not going to stop. Look at that movie Taken. That shit really happens, you know. That movie wasn't all bullshit. They take these young girls and fucking sell them to people. Wild. Hey, Ash, good to see you as well. Wow. Husband and wife tonight. You guys know each other from in here or from elsewhere? What's up, Ashley? Good to see you. Well, good to see you in the chat. Well, I just feel bad for this shit that's going on. And it's gonna cause a media firestorm, which is the last thing anyone needs right now. That's why I haven't been covering a lot of it. I was waiting for this to come out, but it sucks. I really wanted the people that were involved in this shit to go down, and I don't buy that there was no one involved. Why is Ghislaine Maxwell doing 20 years if nothing happened? Oh, no doubt, Joe. I'll have to check you out. If you ever want to link up and do something together, let me know. We'll do a live stream or something. But we're just little ants on the farm. Looked into it. I can't wait to see what comes out about it in the future. Yeah, Joe, we could do that. If you want to email me your email, so I know how to get in touch with you, we could definitely link up. My email is NatesLiveTalk@yahoo.com. And that goes for anyone. If anyone wants to do a video, a live stream, I've had Kai on. I tried to have this psychic on that went crazy. You had one tooth pull that was horrible. I made it worse than it really was. They pulled like 18 of my teeth at once. 18 or 19 I think I had left. Pulled them all out the same day. It was fucking brutal. Brutal. I was fucking out of commission for like a week. Yeah, Discord don't pay no money though. Yep. That fucking nutcase. Ugh. Tried to do a live. She wouldn't shut up. But yeah, I'm trying to lose some weight. I'll have some weight loss videos coming out throughout the week. Gonna try and do one every day. I would take you guys for my walks and shit, but I don't like really having the camera on when I'm trying to work out. And like I get a better workout if I just focus on my workout. At least right now. Yeah, definitely, Joey. Yeah, that's what I did, Jet, because I was sick of having tooth pain, and I didn't have the money to fucking. I wasn't willing to spend my whole bank account to get my fucking teeth all fixed. I said, fucking pull them out. It was way cheaper. Way cheaper. But that's about it. I don't know what else is going on. Not too much. It don't seem like that's the big topic today. I'm not drinking beer, Chad. It's a Diet Coke. I wish it was a fucking beer. I haven't been drinking at all, really, because I'm trying to lose weight. Drinking alcohol and losing weight don't really go together. Unless you're going to drink like vodka, which I can't stand. You can drink some rum. You can drink some shit, but a lot of the shit I don't like. So I haven't really been drinking. Oh, shit. How many years have I had them for? Probably 6 years, 7 years. 6 years, I'd say. But yeah, I haven't been drinking that much. I had some like low calorie type drinks around the 4th. But I didn't overdo it at all. Plus working out with a hangover fucking sucks. Like right now I'm in such shitty I'm so heavy right now that working out is not fun. I feel good after it, but it's not fun while I'm doing it. So I couldn't even imagine working out with a hangover. Couldn't even imagine. Could not even imagine. I don't think I would do it. Yeah, whatever. You know, if you're happy and it's not hurting anyone and you enjoy it, don't worry about it. If it's causing problems in your life, worry about it. My weight was causing problems in my life. I was sick of feeling like shit. My doctor gave me my blood work. He said I'm all good to go. He said, I want you to try and lose some weight before we do back surgery. I don't want back surgery. I've had a ton of surgeries. And if they cut my back open and do discs and shit, I've heard horrible stories about it. I heard it never works out well. People say, don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. So I'm really trying not to do it. I figure lose the weight instead. Much easier, healthier way. Happy anniversary. Nice. 18 years. Congratulations. But yeah, this is going to bring a little heat for a while. This is going to bring some heat to Trump for quite a while. And people that hate him, they're just going to hate more. You know, people that have made their mind up, you can't change their mind. You know, there's people on the very far left that feel a certain type of way. There's people on the very far right that feel a certain way. I try to tote the line. I try not to get too far into either of it. It really makes me feel like, does it even fucking matter that I vote when I think about it? I still think Trump is the lesser of the evils, but I don't feel good about what happened as far as that Epstein file. It bothers me. It should bother everyone. It should bother everyone. But we looked into it for a bit tonight. We looked into it a bit tonight. I wish there was some ball games we could hang out and watch. Maybe I'll do some Yankees games this week or something. I don't know. A lot of people aren't into baseball. I've been trying to do a couple here and there, but it seems like people aren't into baseball as much as the other sports we cover. But I'll be around. Thank you guys for checking in tonight. Please like, share, subscribe. I'll be back tomorrow with something, hopefully. Whether it's a workout, whether it's talking about some other shit, I'll be around. You guys know how to catch me. If you'd like to email me, hit me up, NatesLiveTalk@yahoo.com. Joey, hit me up. You guys have a great night. Be safe. Peace.